life. What's poppin'? What's tea? Welcome back to another episode of the Hey Friends with Laila Alise podcast. And we are here for episode 3. Your girl is here, okay? She's got her slick back going today. My friends love me in a slick back. Laila, this is for you. I am sipping on today. I'm sipping on a margarita mix. This is mango flavor. This is the Gloria brand, I think. Ooh, that is yummy. Y'all, it has been a lot going on in the news, in the tabloids, in the blogs, child, just on the internet. Y'all have been wilding, to say the least. But I want to talk, first off, it is June, so happy Pride. Yes, be who you are for your pride. To all my LGBTQIA plus listeners and viewers, happy Pride to you all. Don't let the people steal y'all shine this month, especially for my Black queer folks. Okay, this is like y'all's Black History Month Part 2, because this is queer history is Black history. The people don't want to talk about that. Queer history is Black history. Okay, so Black queer folks, this is your month as well. Take up your space. Tell your stories, okay? Share in spaces with your queer folks, with your queer community. Don't let these people tell y'all how to live. Don't let these people tell y'all going to burn in hell for living your life. Okay? Some of these people wish they was living their gay fantasies. And that's the problem. It's a lot of fetishizing going on and not a lot of people living it. A lot of people gay, but not dating gay. So I'm not saying happy Pride to y'all. Look, I was talking to my friend yesterday. I'm like, I know I have some LGBTQ friends, but I'm saying happy Pride to the ones that gay. Not the ones, the ones that date gay, not the ones that gay. Okay? Because that, I feel like even in the Black LGBTQ community in particular, I hear a lot of commentary and discourse around a lot of DL gay men or even DL lesbian women and how they're able to kind of, play as if they are one identity when they're not, or one sexuality when they're not, and they're able to kind of pass in certain environments that are favorable to them, but will also try to pass in gay environments when it's favorable for social currency, and I really do think that it's important to have open conversations around sexuality as it pertains to down low or just non-out gay individuals, because I do feel like sometimes we villainize them way too quickly. There is definitely a negative connotation when we do talk about down low gay men, or and back to what I was saying about the fetishizing around particularly lesbian women is very weird. Because even from straight men, they will fantasize about lesbian women, or they will fantasize about having a threesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it a sense of turn on when it isn't you, but when it is you, it's a turn off? And I do feel like there still is a lot of shame around the LGBTQ community, and particularly people who are sexually out there. There is a lot of shame on that is put onto them, in the sense that they are often ostracized or castrated, in the sense that if they are a gay man or a bisexual man, they are castrated by women, in the sense that, well, because you around with a man and you're not going to be able to mess with me. And so you're not allowing space for their sexuality to be real. Like, I feel like I hear so many discussions now of a lot of people complaining and saying that nowadays, like, there are not bisexual men. And if a man is saying that they're bisexual, that they're more than likely gay and not bisexual. And I just feel like, in general, a lot of bisexual identities and bodies are ostracized in our society as kind of like non-existent, and even within the gay community, not seen as legitimate. That, you're able to mess around with both and you're not able to choose, or this narrative that a bisexual person doesn't know what they want, and so they're just open to anything and are just open to the gay community at a proxy. I feel like bisexuality is a thing, and I feel that those particular individuals who live their life out loud as bisexual or not still deserve legitimacy in their identity, in their sexuality, and or in their gender. I feel like we definitely need to get better at just having more insightful conversations when it comes to queerness, and not making queerness a sense of disease, or we get disgusted when we talk about it, or we get quiet when we talk about it. But we're loud when it comes to racial issues, or even sexist issues, but we're quiet when it comes to gay rights and the inclusivity of LGBTQIA identities. I definitely still feel that there needs to be a conversation had with black trans identities in the black racial community, because transphobia is very much a thing. I think we get stuck on the homophobia, that we're not paying attention to the transphobia that's in front of our faces. And particularly when it comes to the black race, the African American race, but the black community, I feel as though transphobia is still a rampant issue, particularly in our older generations, like Gen X, even some baby boomers, definitely some of the silent generation folks that are still here. However, there is this obsession, I feel like, with calling out folks' sexuality or their identity or where they stand on the spectrum. Like, we're so hyper vigilant, and it's like a supervisor spirit, in the sense that we are more focused on uncovering someone's sexuality so that we can know and put them in a label. And it just becomes very dangerous when you are comfortable moving through the world like that, because, to my point of the phobia, you start getting so anxious about calling out these particular identities when you're out and about and or experiencing them. And then it builds up this angst of untrustworthiness, even within your own community, to my point, with black and brown bodies, when we need to just be focused on that. our own black and brown communities. Why are we so concerned about exposing somebody's sexuality? And I can't remember, I really, really, really wish I could think of the author's name, but in a feminist theory class that I took, actually my last semester, we talked about this idea of, and it was a term, to my point, I can't think of the author, but it was a term that the author was using, the writer, excuse me, was using about us treating gay identities as a plague we must uncover, because we're not necessarily discovering them, right? We're not necessarily discovering new identities and new sexualities, because gay people have been around since the start of time, bi people have been around since the start of time, pansexual people have been here from the start of time, lesbian people, like we can go on and on and on and on and on. But there is this obsession about uncovering it. And I don't know if it's a sense of control. I don't know if it's this Americanized idea, again, of discovery and claiming something, a right or a ownership to something. I'm sure it's all of these things, but it saddens me to see that seeping in black and brown communities, and particularly in our social interactions, because it not only does it not have to be, it doesn't make sense, because marginalized is marginalized, oppressed is oppressed, suppressed is suppressed. And for, even when you think of some of the layers, like there are black gay men who are transphobic, or there are or trans women who are anti-gay, and when you really start to get in it, it's like, this isn't about sexuality, this is about the binary of male and female, masculine and feminine, girl and boy child, soft and strong, right? All of these binaries that we are inadvertently trying to escape and yet create again. And that is why, for me, I can give and extend grace to individuals that struggle with pronouns or just struggle with understanding gay realities. Because it's like, well, why, if you're a trans woman, you're a man transitioning to a woman, why would you be dating a man now? Isn't that just gay? And it's like, no, that's not gay. This person has switched identities. And that's another thing. Do we know that gender is a social construct? To my point earlier of naming some of these binaries, do we know that those things have been man-made to characterize man and woman? Do we even know what sexuality is versus sex? Gender versus sex. Like, I can't begin to have conversations like that with people, especially when I'm debating people, unless we have a clear understanding of those terms. The same thing with race and ethnicity and nationality. Like, we have to clarify these terms, especially in times like this. There's no longer an excuse of not trying to understand, or this is this new generation. Okay, and it might be new gen, but guess what? It's real life though. It's happening right now though. We're losing funding right now though. We're being preyed on in the law though. Like, there will no longer be grace for that for me, but I can give grace to individuals that are doing the self-determinative work to choose to learn and grow and respect LGBTQIA identities. I can give grace for somebody that is struggling to get there, but who wants to. And the same kind of goes for race for me. But anyway, happy Pride to, again, all of my LGBTQ listeners and viewers. You guys are loved, okay? If anybody has not told you. I wanted to talk about something that happened to me this weekend, y'all. And I am like not really sure how like I want to talk about it. Because this is like it's a sensitive spot for me, only because society tells me that it should be. And so personally, I have to constantly do the work to understand that I don't have to be hurt by a lie. And I don't have to dwell on something that doesn't make sense. And I think it's important to really contextualize what I was even saying earlier about understanding that a lot of this is constructed. It is fake. It is to uphold the patriarchy. I am not this particular system of race or sex or even beauty. And this weekend, I'm saying this weekend, but yeah, it was this weekend. I was with my homegirl. We go in it was like a vape shop. It was a vape shop. We go in the vape shop or whatever, and I'm like looking. I had on a tank top basically, but it was like a broad like crop top tank top. And it had really thin spaghetti straps, and I just had on like some black spandex shorts and flip-flops, like really normal. And so we go in the shop, we're kind of like looking around, and before we could even open our mouths to speak to the clerk to tell them what we needed, I don't know if he was the owner of the place or just another worker, but he interrupts me as I'm speaking to the clerk. And he goes, he had an accent, but I'm not going to mock the accent. But he goes, you, what's wrong? Look, I said I'm not going to mock the accent, I'm mocking. He goes, you, like, what's wrong? Like, pointing to my back. He's like, what is that? What's wrong with you? And so I was already annoyed, first of all, because we went to Quick Trip and there was like this older guy, like, trying to talk to us. And it's like, oh, y'all are beautiful, but y'all too young for me. And I had a wife for 12 years and she had cancer. And so, like, first of all, I don't know what it is with these elder Midwestern men who play in your face like they want to be an uncle, but at the same time want to take you to the bathroom. It's very weird, and it's very it gives pedophilia. And so when I get in those interactions, when there is an older male trying to assert his attraction for me, or what could be attraction towards me, by commenting on how I look or commenting on how he thinks I remind him of someone, like, I'm not listening. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I'm keeping of a distance, because I need you to know that there's no invitation for anything, not even conversation. Hello? And so I was already annoyed by that situation, because Men do not care. It's so sad. They don't care how old you are, what's wrong with you, if you're uncomfortable. They only care about their egos and about their. And it is puzzling as a young woman maneuvering through the streets and knowing that at any moment a man can have power over me just from his interaction with me or asserting an interaction with me. I didn't invite you to speak to me. I'm not even speaking back. And you're still talking. I'm annoyed. And I'm trying not to get irate. Because then the story turns that, oh, she was hitting on me and she got mad that I didn't want her. You'd be surprised what a nigga will do. And I'm very closed off to interactions like that, especially unwelcomed sexual attention, because I didn't invite it and I don't want it. You know, so I was just very annoyed when that happened. And so then to turn around, we go into the next store and another man, different race, comments on me again, though not sexually or romantically, but is commenting from a sense of like, what is the word that means? It's the study of how diseases are passed down. And I'm seeing it in my head. I can't pronounce it. Hopefully I can put it on the screen. But he's like, the way that he pointed at me, like I was the plague. Like he had never seen a unperfect back, like skin that is not the smoothest of smooth, the brightest of hues. Come on, rhyme. Hey, a writer. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, he literally said, what's wrong with you? Not what happened to you. Let's just start there. Why does there have to be something wrong with me? There's something wrong with me because I don't have the clearest and most smoothest and beautiful skin that you think a woman should have. Because that's another thing. If I was a young dude who had acne and like that, y'all would just say I'm masculine. But because I'm a woman who also is comfortable showing her skin, you feel that as a man you have the advantage to say something. So he points at my back and is like, what's wrong with you, or what is that? And I'm like, I was born with that. I was born like that. And he's like, oh, you were born like that? Oh, okay. And just like walks away. So my friend kind of like stops to look at me, because my people know. Sometimes I can have a mouth on me. Other times, just how I was in that case and scenario, I will pick and choose my battles. And you just will never know the ones I choose. I'm very unpredictable. Okay. But I decided not to really go any further into conversation or get back or even trying to educationally read him or to like provide him with actual insight. I didn't have the energy to, and I think it's important to allow yourself to be situated in that space of I don't have to explain anything to anybody. And especially as Black women, when we get to that space, do you not know how unstoppable we are? When we stop explaining ourselves to these people, and to these people that are trying to uphold these systems, we break free. Okay? Soaring, flying, there's not a starry every we can reach. Yes! Okay. Then we're breaking free. Anyway, I was not expecting that, but I just had to go with it. Where was I at in the story? I done lost my spot. But yes, I was talking about us as Black women. When we stop explaining ourselves, we are able to really be authentic, right? And in that moment, authentically, I didn't have the room to explain because it wasn't giving here. It wasn't giving like we were going to have a like-minded conversation. It was going to give an interrogation. I'm not here for that. So my friend like looks at me and she's like, I could tell like in her energy, she's like, is this bitch gonna say something? Is she not gonna say anything? Because I could feel that she's upset, because I very much was. And so we ended up leaving the shop. Like, mind you, we were literally only in there for like 5 minutes. We leave the shop and I'm just walking out and I'm like, now I know I'm not tripping. And my friend's like, I knew I wasn't tripping. And so we're kind of like, being able to somewhat laugh about it. But I could tell that my friend was very bothered by it on my behalf. And it was just upsetting me in the moment and just an afterthought that, not that my friend had to witness that on my behalf, because it could have very well happened. It could have happened to her in any type of regard. But I just couldn't stop thinking about her reaction to my interaction and how it upset her to see a man comment on another woman's body, and for me to have been the woman's body who was being commented on by the man in question was and is very heavy for me. And I'm like, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, because I have, right, gone through and think about, damn, should I cover my shoulders today? Like, I don't want my back out. Because, or like, for example, when I'm going to places that I know I'm going to sit in close proximity to people, I will try to cover my back or my chest, because I don't want somebody to think that me brushing up against them, that they're like, and like after that happened, I just started thinking about like me as a younger teenager having acne and having acne on my face, and just not feeling confident in my skin, literally, and having eczema and having a birthmark that covered half of my stomach, and being scared to show my stomach until, God rest her soul, Deja was like, that is so pretty, and was pointing at my birthmark when I was like, I don't know, maybe 12. And it was like, your birthmark is so pretty. And she's like, I would never forget, she was like following my birthmark with her finger and was like, "Oh my God, your birthmark is like a dragon." And I remember her saying that, and I was like, "A dragon? My skin looks like a dragon." And I just remember looking in the mirror while she was looking in the mirror, and I had never like really thought my birthmark looked like anything but just mush on my skin, you know what I mean? Just a big glob on my skin. But when she pointed out that it looked like a dragon, I thought, "Oh, this is she thinks it's cute. She thinks it's pretty. Maybe I think it's pretty. Actually, it is pretty. Wait, it is a dragon, you know?" And I can visibly remember my consciousness switching, excuse me, in that moment and thinking about my skin. And I'm saying that to say I have had to grow secure in my bareness, being able to I don't have any tissue. But being able to look at my skin in its nakedness, in its bareness, looking at my back knee, feeling on my back and my skin, and trying to see what picture my skin looks like today. You know, like this side, I'm feeling on my patterns, is what I call them, and feeling on what it looks like and how it feels, and not being disgusted by that. Uh, Hold on. But yeah, now I really take out the time to appreciate what my body looks like, and being comfortable with imperfect skin, and loving my scars and my keloids and my dry patches and my birthmarks and newly found stretch marks, or and for me, I have to sounds weird to say it, but touch myself to ground myself in that. And what I was just saying, and like feeling my back and feeling the pattern it goes, and just telling myself how beautiful it is that I have 3D skin. Sometimes you just have to be creative in how you build yourself back up, and how you have a self-image of beauty. And for me, I think it's beautiful that I have a birthmark. I'm not there yet to say that I think it's beautiful that I have back knee, because it is a inconvenience to a lot of things that I want to wear. Like, I'm actually shocked that I wore that halter dress on the last episode, because I was afraid that, like, where I was sitting with the camera, like, you wouldn't have been able to see the strap. Of course, you would have just saw the top of my chest, and I didn't want it to give a eyesore or anything like that. But I was just like, they gonna see my arm, so might as well just wear it. And so I just didn't think about it, and that be that. But I can't lie and say that I haven't bought things that I really wanted to get out of insecurity of my back or my skin or my chest. Even when it comes to hyperhidrosis, like I am a sweater. I'm sweating right now. I don't even know if y'all can hear this fan. Even if y'all hear a fan previously or in the future, I'm sorry, but I'm not turning off my fan up here, which is hot. But even with my struggles with hyperhidrosis, like I have been a body sweater my whole life. I remember being in elementary school, and when I would lift up my arms, like the girls would like make fun of like my sweat puddles or whatever. And or like I remember one time I lifted up my arms and this girl was like, "Ooh, you stink." First of all, no I don't. I just have, you could see my sweat. That's the only difference between me and you. But I sure can smell you. What? It never gave stinky. Right? And I think that's a common theme of being miseducated is that you will say and do ignorant things, but until somebody or something changes you, you don't know it's ignorant. And I don't blame or fault kids being kids. But girl, like we are 10, 11, and 12 all in the peak of puberty. Y'all all smelt like onions. I never gave onion, but y'all gave onions. And you wanted to say that I stink because you saw a sweat puddle under my armpit? It's just 85 degrees outside and we swinging on the tire swing, playing in the wood chips, playing Foursquare and hopscotch and basketball. I was a basketball kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you thought I was finna do all this playing and I was gonna stay prim, silk pressed out, body tee, clothes crisp, body dry? You know, like I can't, and I'm not saying that I'm completely over or confident in that too, because to my point earlier, I can't lie and say that I have not bought things that I really wanted, but because it was a certain color, I didn't get it because I don't like to wear bright colors because I know I sweat a lot. And I don't want people looking at me like, look at this sweaty over here, you know? And I think sometimes we are able to conceal and deal with our insecurities by doing those accommodations or compromising the things that we want in order to make other people around us feel comfortable. But then you get to a point when you notice that you're compromising yourself now. You're not just making accommodations, right? Making an accommodation is wearing business casual to work because that is an expectation at work to be in business casual. And typically you may not like business casual, but I'm going to make an accommodation to wear business casual at work. But I'm not going to compromise myself because people say girls shouldn't sweat or whatever. I'm really belchy. People say girls shouldn't sweat or whatever. Or that girls should have perfect skin. And so because I don't have perfect skin, because I sweat a lot, I need to change up my whole wardrobe. Or I need to wear long sleeves in the summertime. Babe, tell that to I was telling my friend, tell that to the fat bitch who wears a bikini. You should be covering up your skin. For what? Covering up your body. For what? It's summertime. I'm going to wear a halter top. My back is out because it's hot. I will not inconvenience myself to make you feel comfortable or to respect your beauty ideals. And back to the situation that happened at the shop when the man was pointing at my back. My friend brought up a very great point, which was like, what if you had said like something actually did happen? Then what was he gonna say? Like, there are burn victims who walk around every day, I'm sure, who feel like a freak because of the way that y'all look at their skin. I'm sure there are people with severe eczema who wish that they had glistening, glowy skin, but are not able to because of your mouth. There are big girls who want to wear bikinis because it's hot outside, and they're not able to because of your mouths. It is very, very saddening to think just how little effort it takes to cause trauma on somebody if you are not careful. It takes little effort. What did they say when we were kids? What was that saying? That words stay longer or something like that. Y'all put it in the comments. What's that saying? Words are forever or something like that. Something is something, but words are forever. What's the saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Put it in the comments. But you know what I'm saying? It takes little effort to ruin somebody's day when it comes to saying something to them, especially somebody you don't know. We say women or men should stop controlling women's bodies, but when your man tells you to lose 10 pounds, you do it without asking. Or when your father tells you to cover up your bottom in front of company, like we're not at a family barbecue and it's hot outside. Or you got the uncle talking under his breath about how fast you are when it's hot outside, so I have on shorts. Like, the commenting and obsession on women's body does not just stop at your romantic interests and prospects. As a woman, stop commenting on other women's bodies. Don't tell me, oh, I have the perfect cream for your back and da-da-da. Like, I didn't ask you. You don't even know if I have a dermatologist or not, dude. You don't know what I'm prescribed to. Women be so comfortable calling other women fat, big. My friends know I don't like the term big back. I will use it out of joke, but I don't like calling people big backs because I think it's encoded fat phobia. I do. But you got women comfortable commenting on other women's stomachs and rolls and their breast or whatever. And they be the same hoe with 4 kids. I'm not calling her a hoe because she has 4 kids. I'm just calling her a hoe instead of a but you understand what I'm saying. Like, they be the one with 4 kids talking about another woman's stomach or another woman's thighs. Let people have their bodies. Can you ascribe somebody that? I know it's hard to give respect on people's politics, on people's religious beliefs, but can we ascribe people respect, physical respect for their bodies? That's basic humanity to me. But we can't even be humane enough in that sense within a society to let people claim their own bodies. And I don't have to have a medical condition to make you feel better about why my body is imperfect according to your standards of beauty or physical well-being. Because again, even if I had the condition and told you, then what you gonna do? You just want something to identify as the problem to make you feel better at night? What if I just have bad skin? How about this? What if I was just black? Did you think about that? Eczema runs in us. And I'm having to explain to another black woman, she's commenting about my face. And like, that's another thing. Y'all commenting about people not having perfect glass skin and acne on their face or whatever. For what? What that got to do with your motion? Let me see your puberty pictures. Or let me see your kids' pictures. You don't want to show me your kids' acne. We have to stop being obsessed with uncovering what's wrong, quote unquote, with people. There is nothing wrong with anybody who wants to be gay, and there's nothing wrong with anybody that has bad skin. And that's my feelings on that. I'm sorry I got a little emotional in that beginning part, but I just needed to get that out. And I just think we have to be more careful commenting on people, inserting ourselves in people's business, or inserting ourselves as people's solutions. Let people claim their space and their bodies on their time. It's just that simple. Now that I have that out of my system, I want to talk about a couple things and then I'm finna go. So, y'all know it was just Memorial Day. And I don't know if y'all follow him, but Frankie Blue on TikTok, he's a pretty famous, he's gone viral plenty of times on TikTok, and he made a video. I don't know if it was on Memorial Day, before Memorial Day, or what, but he made a video talking about why these bedazzled ass not grilling. And I thought that the video was honestly just like for kicks and giggles. I thought it was funny, to say the least. But people were actually upset. Like, were actually in his comments basically saying to him, as a gay man, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. To me, the point still stands. We all know the gays are one of the girls. Real girls know the gays are the girls. Real allies know the gays are the girls. Hello, they're gay. They're not abiding by straight masculinity principles or machismo-like interactions. They're not abiding by that. So they don't need to do the things that men do to feel like men, because they're not abiding by those principles. The point was, y'all doing all this to get y'all diamonds on y'all tennis shoes and Rick Owens, and get y'all bedazzled rhinestones on your jeans, but you're not on the grill keeping alive memories. and being involved with community. Community has always been left at the foot of black women. Why are black women having to curate our social get-togethers and gatherings? Where are the men? And why aren't y'all grilling? That was the point. And the fact that these straight men are really like stitching his video and duetting and making response videos, trying to read him about not being on the grill, and they're not responding with themselves being on the grill, smoking some chicken legs, hot dogs, burgers, and pork steaks. Y'all too busy y'all want the girls to be on the grill so y'all can be on the game inside. What? You know how backwards that is for this generation? The boys want to be inside now. You know, back in the day, the men would be outside, cutting wood on the grill, setting up or fixing the outside furniture table so that Big Mama and them could sit outside. Fixing the porch because one of the screws is broken on the ledge. And the women would be inside at the kitchen table, either prepping a meal or sitting there talking, doing their domestic duties, not out of domesticity alone, but doing their domestic duties out of community. Now, it's the opposite. You go to a cookout and all the women are outside having fun, right? Socializing, doing their thing, and you get inside and the men just quiet watching the game. Watching the game, not talking, maybe drinking, obviously. But drinking, watching the game, and commenting on the latest point every 10 minutes. And y'all wondering why he asked why y'all not on the grill? Now, I'm not saying that women or men have to stay in these particular, social standings of what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do, right? Because women should be able to be inside or outside, just like men should be inside or outside. But there is a common theme that men today are not acting in traditional roles, physically, emotionally, or financially. Women are outperforming men or their counterparts in all of those fields, financially, educationally, physically. Do you not know that half of the time, and I know there has been studies on this, but men who are married live longer, not necessarily because that they're married, but because the women in their life has made their husband's health a responsibility of their own. So the woman is the one telling the man to check on his prostate, or the woman is the one telling the man to book a general physical or to check up on their blood pressure, and you know what I'm saying, and so forth. Y'all can't even go to the doctor on your own. Low key, why would we expect them to grill? You know what I'm saying? Y'all act like kids. Every day. Every day. And even the way that y'all responding to this question of why y'all not on the grill is giving kid. Oh, because the homeboys this, the homeboys that. It's always about the homeboys. I don't even think y'all really care about y'all grandmothers like that no more. You know what I'm saying? You used to be able to really in by his grandma. He don't even stop by his grandma's before he go out no more. You know what I'm saying? Used to do that. Hey, I gotta stop by my people's house to make sure they cool, then we can go out. Don't even do that no more. Like, they're either overly machismo, very macho man, wanting to be overly, extremely the provider, the protector, very misogynist, a very I do this, women do that, very controlling. They don't like the makeup. They don't want you switching your hair. They don't want you wearing bodycon dresses. They want you to look like a Sunday school teacher while they cheat with you, with the stripper. They either like that or they bedazzled down. Jean shorts got diamonds from button to hem of the seam. You got diamonds on the Rick Owens. You got glasses and earrings and rings and bracelets and purses now. You know, I'm not saying a man can't have a purse. I'm not saying a man can't have his bracelets or even hell his nails painted. But I'm saying that these are patterns. These are patterns that we must recognize. And that'd be the weird part. That to me, I'm like, okay, are you like being like this? You like being the head? And you not doing anything or showing yourself at all as a leader? You just like to say that, huh? You just like to say you the protector and the provider because you can. Why y'all not on the grill? I think the point still stands. I don't know if y'all have seen, but there was a high school in Louisiana that they had to close or end early their graduation ceremony because it had got so rowdy. The kids are jigging, dancing when their name is called, doing the utmost, right, as they should, rightfully so. They just graduated high school. But in the video, the principal basically is like, this is a ceremony of high standing and respect and decorum. And if y'all gonna act like, well, he didn't say if y'all gonna act like this, but he was just like, graduation is over. And when I saw that video, I just thought it was funny because I'm like, I cannot believe that this is real. Like, first, you canceled the graduation ceremony? Do I think that was extreme? Yes. And when you get your diploma, sit down. Get your diploma, wave at your family, wave at the friends you see on the way to your seat, stop to give a hug or two, and sit down. Because the problem is you're screaming over other people's name, and that's what I do have a problem with. I don't have a problem with them dancing and doing all that, but I do have a problem with them hooping and hollering over other people's name at the graduation. Because if that were me and my name wasn't able to be called, I would have a problem. But it really just sounded like he wanted to say that y'all were acting ghetto and y'all were trashing this ceremony. Like, that's really what he wanted to say. And I feel like that's when you kind of like lose me a little bit. And I'm not going to say that we shouldn't be able to celebrate big accomplishments. I just hope that those parents and those families that were doing all that hooping and hollering, that their kids had a 3.0 or higher GPA, and that they're either going to college or trade school or going to the military or have an active plan after college. And I'm saying active like right now. Because you get these parents who will celebrate their kids graduating college, I'm sorry, graduating high school, and they graduated high school with C's and only taking their requirements, and will graduate and will sit at home after. And they still reading on a 10th grade, 6th grade reading level. And so are you. You know what I'm saying? Because the apple don't be falling too far from the tree. You know? So I felt like when I seen the ceremony, I'm like, if that happened to me, I definitely would feel a way if my name didn't get called. But my last name starts with an A. So I would have got my left if they was acting like that. I would have got my diploma and told my people, my crew, let's go. You know what I'm saying? But hey, what do you do, right? I don't know, but when I saw that video, I just thought, have we lost the plot of graduation? Like, I see graduations nowadays. I'm like, the people don't even dress up no more. Like, what happened to wearing? Y'all dress up for prom, but y'all don't want to dress up for graduation? Run that back for me. And play it on slow-mo. Because how you got on a white tee, jeans, and Air Forces for graduation, but for prom, you made sure to go buy some new loafers. Or some newer tennis shoes or whatever. Or the girls, you made sure to get a really good prom dress, but you just decided to buy a dress from Rainbow for graduation. Not saying that people can't have different tax brackets. Not saying that there's anything wrong with Rainbow. Not saying that there's anything wrong with dressing down. But at graduation, when it's about you, and this is somewhat of a formal ceremony, which is the problem, because y'all don't think graduations are formal anymore, right? Like, I do think we are losing the plot of graduation. I don't think it's been lost yet, but like, yeah, when you go to graduation, there is a level of behavior that should be conducted. Do I think it means that the ceremony is automatically trashed and ghetto and hood because people may not be abiding by whatever police-ass principles that y'all want them to abide by in these environments? No, I don't know. They not my people. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? But scream for y'all babies at graduation. Just make sure you screaming for something and not just screaming because they finished. Scream because they grew as a person. Scream because you thought Lil Ray Ray was never going to be able to read past 6th grade and he was able to finish high school with a 3.5 GPA. Scream because Makayla had got into so many fights but turned around and was able to make amends and now has a scholarship. Scream because you have seen your children work hard and play sports and stay up and study. Scream because you seen them work to finish high school. Don't scream because you trying to beat the other family on who can be the loudest screamer. Don't scream because you just want a photo op for Facebook. Don't scream because you just want to post and rub it in your other homegirl's face whose kid dropped out. Y'all be screaming for some weird reasons and not for the reasons that we came to scream for. Because then when somebody asks you on behalf of your child, what was their finishing GPA and where are they going to, or what are they doing after high school, you better have an answer. Because what you celebrating? Not saying you can't celebrate an accomplishment for it being that, an accomplishment. Nobody is negating that at graduation. We all here for that. You know what I'm saying? But don't ruin it for other people. Don't be screaming over other people's name. You pacing back and forth doing the splits and cartwheels and do you even do that at church? You doing all this hooping and flipping after graduation. But you don't even give God a hand clap of praise. Girl. Last thing I wanted to talk about before we get up off of here. There has been drama in the beauty world, girl. And I'm going to try my best to break this down because when I first saw it last week. And I was going to say something on the episode, but I just didn't have a lot to say because I didn't have the full story. And I still don't feel like I have the full story, but I'm just going to speak on what I know and just leave it there. But so we have Painted by Esther and Patrick Ta. I'm going to describe both of them and then we'll get into the drama. So Painted by Esther is a makeup artist. She is British Nigerian. She's been doing makeup, I want to say, since before pandemic or before pandemic, like 2019, 2018, 2019, 2020. Group them all together. She's been doing makeup for, we're just going to say 6 years. And she has gotten really popular over the last couple of months due to her like viral blush look. Like she has made blush such a signature for her, and she's also brought back the public obsession with blush, because for a while, if y'all remember, even during 2016, the girls were not wearing blush. Like it was heavy contour, bronzer, highlighter, maybe like a palish kind of blush just to blend in the bronzer and contour, but the girls were not wearing blush for a while. The blushes didn't really start coming back literally until pandemic, which is on point yet ironic as to during the same time that Esther was, growing in her popularity. Back to Esther. So she has really crafted the signature look of like under eye blush, like really pinky rosy cheeks. She calls it, in a sense, transitional blushes, because it's like concealer to a lighter blush to a more pigmented blush at the top, which I kind of abide by I haven't been a follower of Esther's for a while, but from some of the inspo looks that I have seen from hers that other people have recreated, I have tried to recreate. You know what I'm saying? So even though a lot of or even other people may not have direct engagement with Esther, there is indirect influence being had, right? So Esther has been going viral with her looks on last season's Love Island cast member Alandria. She's been doing Viola Davis's makeup. She's been doing Naomi Campbell's makeup, Kelly Rowland's makeup, Chloe's makeup. Those are just to name a few, but she's been doing a lot of celebrities' makeup. So Esther decided to make a video after Patrick Ta, who is a makeup brand owner, he came out with a couple blush palettes that he called transitional blushes. And so people were starting to flag the fact that he was calling this blush transition blushes. And people have been flagging it as in the sense of, we've heard this before, and we've heard this specifically from a black makeup artist, and particularly painted by Esther. Esther has done many of tutorials, many of videos, even also saying in, teaching this transitional blush look. Once Patrick Talk drops these blush palettes, these blush duo palettes, like I said, people were flagging this transitional blush term or concept. And before you know it, Esther makes a video. Esther makes a video to TikTok or Instagram, or either somebody screen recorded and posted on whichever platform. But yes, she makes a video and she basically describes that she was actually met with a Patrick Ta employee or representative or what have you, and they were actually wanting to book a live demo or makeup session with Esther, and they wanted to record while Esther was doing the said tutorial. Esther thought that that was a little fishy, and she was just like, no, I'm not gonna allow recording. And I can't remember if she said that she went on with the demo or she just kind of went ahead and canceled it all the way around. But she did come to the front and say that she was met with someone who worked for Patrick Ta that wanted to take a class with her to learn her technique on this blush and to record it. Immediately, folks are enraged on Esther's behalf because this is another case of a black woman's work and creative ideas not being given credit and then being turned around and used as a commercialized product in a white space or a non-minority space and is capitalized off of. So people are upset with Patrick Ta at the moment for, number one, also copywriting the transitional blush term, which is honestly crazy. Trademarking, not copywriting, but trademarking or putting a patent on his intellectual property, this particular blush duo palette. I am, plain and simple, I'm on Esther's side. How many times is it that black women's ideas and creative projects or products get stolen from? Even Hanifa, the founder of Hanifa, complained about a lot of her products being copied and sold on a lot of these wholesale sites. Shein and whomever, you know what I mean? And so we're not gonna act like, number one, black women don't make popular, that we don't repopularize things, even though we may not have invented it or created it, but we have created the style, or we have created the knowing of whatever that particular thing was. We're not gonna act like black women don't have influence. And we're not going to act like black women don't kill it. Hello? Number two, we're not going to act like brands don't do this. Brands will take from individuals that are independent or independent creatives to be able to resell and capitalize off of the said thing. We're not going to act like brands don't do that. And so the fact of Patrick Ta, what I think just makes it even more fishy is that he trademarked it. Like, what was the point of you? Like, you didn't come up with transitional blush. Like, people have been saying that with their blushes for years. And so with the people saying, well, Esther should have, she should have patented, or she should have got an LLC and da 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 da. Like, Patrick didn't just do the same thing. He didn't come up with transitional blush. And I know that there are discrepancies, if you will, when it comes to claiming certain inventions or intellectual property, right? There is a language involved in that. But we're not going to act like the timing of it all is fishy. Patrick Ta has had some issues in the past, I believe, with paying black and brown creators who, particularly content creators who have done either campaigns for TikTok or Instagram promoting his products, and him either lowballing or being late or not paying them said amount. So the fact that you kind of have a little bit of some untrustworthy history, then you have a lady come out and say that you were trying to basically take and steal her technique without giving her credit, mind you. Y'all didn't offer her no collab on the blushes. That was my thing. Like, okay, y'all could have actually gotten inspiration from each other. And Esther could have made that bomb, Patrick. But you decided to be sneaky about it and didn't think you were going to get caught. Didn't think people were going to catch on. Didn't think people were going to call you out. It doesn't work like that. So I definitely feel like Patrick Ta needs to take accountability as a business CEO, head, product developer, whatever his role is in his business. He needs to take accountability. Period. Point blank. Now, Jackie Aina comes into the picture because Jackie, once these blush duo palettes were public and made available to the public, Jackie decided to make a video. Not paid. It was not a campaign. She was simply just making a review off the products because they were in PR. So folks who don't understand beauty PR or just PR in general, brands or companies will put together a PR list, right? This is for earned media, earned publicity, earned shout out. They will put a selective number of content creators or even other business owners or just social media personnel in general. Of course, people with followers, people with influence, and people who have a trustworthy record of promoting products before. These brands will put together a list of these creators or influencers and will send them free but exclusive products, either products before they hit the market or exclusive products like different collabs or whatever. They'll send them these products for them to enjoy in hopes of them posting about how good it is and for them to then get sales. So it is an investment that they must see a return on, but there is really no strings attached to PR from what I know. There might be some other things within the contract as to how individuals have to stay on the PR list, but there is no string attached in the sense that when they send products that they have to record a video or they have to do a video concept. There's no strings attached when it comes to that. So I say that to say Jackie got the products, the Duo Blush Palette from Patrick Ta in her PR, and she has done videos reviewing Patrick Ta's products before. She decides to make a review reviewing the blush palette. She starts off her video like, Patrick, the reason why I'm so upset about this launch is why didn't we get it sooner? So she kind of like starts the video on a cliffhanger of like, what's she finna say? Oh, okay. She actually likes the blushes. right? So that's kind of like how you're reacting to the video. Like, you think she finna say, oh, is Jackie finna say it? Oh, okay, Jackie's liking the product, right? So people are starting to look at Jackie a certain kind of way, because why is it, this is, from other people's perspective, why is it that it's so easy for you to uplift without pay, without any strings attached, for you to uplift and post and rave about a non-black product when there is a black woman being exploited over as a result of it? And it is also a cash grab, in the sense that it's nothing new to the market. There have been blush duo palettes before, whether it's been Juvia's Place, whether it's been NYX, whether it's been Morphe, whether it's been ColourPop, Too Faced, whatever the brand is, right? And people are just having a problem with Jackie's inability to read the room and her tone deafness, in the sense that she is completely she's completely ignoring Esther's role in this rollout, literally, of the product. Jackie made a response video saying that, basically, because everybody was like, well, why don't you post a more affordable version of this product, and this is just a cash grab, and Juvia's Place has this same palette and it's cheaper. Jackie decides to make a video saying she will never patronize or publicly promote Juvia's Place because of some previous controversies that the owner has said about her and other black women. I did not know that there was beef with Jackie and Juvia's Place. I had to do my research. Come to find out, this is a lot of drama, y'all. But come to find out, there was some controversy, well, not controversy, but there was some behind the scenes beef, if you will, between Jackie, who is Nigerian, Jackie Aina, who has been creating beauty content on YouTube now for over 12 to 15 years, has made immense transcendence in the beauty space, has had collabs with Too Faced and Anastasia Beverly Hills and whatever. I don't know her resume, but those are just some things I can name off the top of my head. She's been in panels and all kinds of things, conferences and YouTube things and other things. Like, Jackie has been doing her thing for years. But Jackie also has a problem with living in the expectations of people's image of her and what she should and shouldn't do. And so her thing right now is not doing what people want her to do, because she is visibly and consistently resisting that, because she does not want people to be comfortable telling her what to do. And I agree, right? People have a right to move and act and patronize who they want to patronize. And back to my point earlier, Jackie saying that she will never publicly support Juvia's Place because of things that the owner has said about her and black women. She has a right to that. Now, there is some context in why the owner was visibly aggressive or digitally aggressive with Jackie. But long story short, Jackie was not wanting to promote Juvia's Place prior to Juvia's Place even being what we know as Juvia's Place. And once Juvia's Place was given free publicity from other beauty creators that are on the PR list, right, or who even have bought products from their own money, Juvia's Place started getting more recognition in 2016, 2017 or whatever, and was able to kind of skate by Jackie as a beauty resource in publicizing their products. And so I think there were people that were having things to say about Juvia's Place not reaching out to Jackie or other black women creators, and the founder of Juvia's Place basically responding like, hey, we're going basically where the money goes. And right now the money is with these creators and not these creators. Back to the conversation at hand with Patrick Ta, painted by Esther, and Jackie Aina. In her response video, Jackie again is not even acknowledging Esther. She's not even acknowledging her role in this particular signature look that Patrick is saying these blushes will be able to create. Jackie is just saying in the response video, I can promote who I want to promote, and that's it. And I think the basis of her message is true. She can promote who she wants to promote. She can wear what product she wants to wear. And she could lie too if she wanted to, but I don't think Jackie would do that. But I'm just saying she can, it's her channel, it's her platform. And we're not going to tell somebody what they should and shouldn't do on their channel or platform when you can create one too, right? However, there is a level of social responsibility as a black woman that we are all susceptible to, right? And I believe people believe also that there is a responsibility on Jackie's behalf to not override another black woman, particularly another Nigerian woman. Because Jackie is Nigerian as well. I don't know if I said that. So people are just feeling this sense of elitism that Jackie has reached, that she is also not able to socially relate anymore, that I think people have a problem with, which is why they're so picky when it comes to her, or demanding when it comes to her. I just want Jackie to be able to do her job. I don't want anything to stop her bag. I just want her to do her job. And I just want her to do her job. You know what I'm saying? She can promote the products that she wants to and all of that. And guess what? I want Esther to keep her job. I want her bag to grow even thicker, even longer, even deeper after this situation, that no matter how many times somebody may copy her, a new opportunity will be on the rise every time. And that's what's happening right now. She actually has a collab with MAC Cosmetics, and Olandria is her muse, for some blushes. So I hope that sale goes really, really well for Esther, and I hope that she's able to continue to be an amazing makeup artist, because she's an artist. Like, seriously, she really is. Like, I've listened to other people who have said that when they have listened to her describe makeup, that she really has a love for the art. And I think that is just really the sticky situation, is when you have someone that is doing it because they love it versus somebody that's doing it for money. And that's really just what it comes down to. And I think when people don't recognize the difference, and when people are not able to comfortably be there in it with you, they are more susceptible to not supporting you and to actually being more critical of you. And I think it's delusional to think that people can't be critical of you, number one, when you're a public figure, and number two, when you're inserting yourself in public discourse. And I definitely see and know that Jackie does that. Like, she does insert her opinions just like everyone else, right? But you cannot be critical of other people's criticism towards you as a public figure when you're inserting yourself in public discourse. So I want the girls to get their money. I want the girls' bag to not be stopped, but I want the girls to have each other's bag. You know what I'm saying? You never know behind the scenes if they are close, but we also don't know behind the scenes if there has been some, you know what I'm saying, some shadiness there. So I definitely hope that, like I said, Esther is able to continue to transcend as a makeup artist. I want Jackie to stay in her lane as a beauty content creator, advisor, and business owner for Forever Mood. And I want Patrick Todd to stop stealing from black women. Stop stealing from black women. Stop shortballing black and brown creators. Pay the people what they deserve. And make products for your audience. Stop trying, and that's the thing. I feel like he was trying to do that so that he can get more recognition from black and brown communities when it comes to them patronizing him and his products. But just do what you do in your lane. He makes great skin products, I'm sure other great beauty products. Do that. And if it is a cash grab, people don't buy it. Stop patronizing people you don't want to support. It's that simple on everybody's regard. You patronize who you want to patronize. You politically align with whom you politically align with when it comes to spending your resources and currency on something or a brand. Know the power of your dollar, and that's it. You can try holding people accountable to it, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Are you going to boycott Jackie, or are you going to boycott Patrick Ta on behalf of Esther? Did she even tell you to do that? I just think people need to learn boundaries, and they need to learn the power of self-control. Because I think a lot of this has just been fueled by the public and people constantly pushing other people to respond, just to respond. I want the public to sit down. Sit down. I want Jackie to sit down. I want Patrick Ta to sit his down. And I want Painted by Esther to sit down when she wants to. But girl, you go to work and do what you do. But you know what I'm saying? I want the girls... I don't want nobody's bag stopped in this economy. But don't steal from people to do so. Don't exploit for people to do so. Don't colonize for people to do so. So that's how I kind of feel about it. Y'all let me know how you feel about Jackie's point of view. If you're on Painted by Esther's side, if you feel like Patrick Ta really is not in the wrong, if you think like that, I don't know about that, but I mean, hey, I'm open to perspective. But y'all let me know, even if y'all have heard about it, and if I'm missing anything, let me know as well. Yeah, I just want everybody to allow people their space, allow people their creativeness. Stop controlling people and labeling them just to make you feel better, and stop trying to control people's pockets. Stop trying to control people's business. Just don't participate. Put this vitriol in some passion. How about that? And that's for everybody. I love you. Thank you for listening and watching to this episode. Feel free to email me your comments or questions. That's at podcastheyfriends@gmail.com. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Threads. I will have that in the description. YouTubers, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, have liked, have comment, as well as are following me on my podcast platforms on Spotify and Apple. And for Apple and Spotify listeners, that you're subscribed on YouTube so that you never miss an episode. And I will see you guys next week for episode 4. Bye, y'all.